Hi, I'm Linda, and I'm a boomer, and welcome to my therapy. Hi there. My therapy dog Gracie and I are so glad that you joined us as I navigate through my life as a boomer. I have tons of therapy stuff to share with you today. So let's get started. We're going to start with Boomer Brain Buster Citizenship Style. I have 5 questions, and they come from the 100 questions on a study guide for naturalization as a new U.S. citizen. So let's go. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? We elect a U.S. representative for how many years? Is it A2, B6, C4, or D8? If you said 2, you're absolutely correct. Their job is to represent the people in their district of their states. This is so that they can stay more connected. So running every 2 years, they have to go out and see where their constituents are. Okay, number 2, let's see how up to date you are on your presidents. Who was the president during World War I? Was it A, Franklin Roosevelt, B, Theodore Roosevelt, C, Woodrow Wilson, and D, Warren Harding? If you said Woodrow Wilson, you are absolutely correct. Number 3, name one U.S. territory. Is it A, Haiti, B, Cayman Islands, C, Bermuda, or D, Guam? Did you say Guam? You are absolutely right. Also, other ones that are part of the U.S. territory is Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands, which extend about 450 miles north of Guam. They have several islands, and several of these islands have active volcanoes. Number 4, what does the President's Cabinet do? A, make laws, B, commands the U.S. Armed Forces, C, advises the President, or D, all of the above. If you said C, advises the president, that's right. The cabinet advises the president. The president is the one and only person that makes these decisions, but they can be advised. When George Washington started the cabinet, when he was president of the United States, he had 4 members of the cabinet and then the vice president. 2 of the 4 is Jefferson and of course Hamilton, and then John Adams was vice president. Today there's 15 different cabinets and then the vice president. So we have grown a lot. Another thing that's changed, we went from the Secretary of War, which was Knox under Washington, to today it is called the Secretary of Defense. And that's basically, it doesn't sound so aggressive. Number 5, what is one responsibility that is only for U.S. citizens? Is it A, obey the law, B, serve on a jury, C, be respectful to others, or D, pay taxes? If you said serve on a jury, you are absolutely correct. The trick here with this question is one responsibility only for U.S. citizens. Everybody pays taxes, whether it's taxes on a rent-a-car or whatever. Everybody has to obey the laws. So serving on a jury is the only one responsibility that the U.S. citizens would have. Okay, number 6 is our last one. How many amendments does the Constitution have? Is it A, 27, B, 26, C, 24, or D, 23? If you said 27, you are correct. The Constitution is extremely difficult to amend. Over the last over 200 years, only 27 have passed. And if you think about it, the first 10 were passed right away in order to get the Constitution ratified, the Bill of Rights, and then 3 of them that occurred after the Civil War, and that's freeing the slaves, making them citizens, and also giving the right to vote. So it's extremely hard. Out of the 11,000 proposed, only 27 have passed, because there's only a couple of ways this can be done. They have to have an amendment passed. It needs to be approved by 2/3 of both houses, or 2/3 of state legislatures to call a national convention. So this is extremely difficult to do. How'd you do? Pretty good? In order to pass the naturalization exam, you would be verbally given 10 questions from the 100 question study guide. You must answer 6 correctly in order to pass the test. So for this test, that means that you would have to answer 4 of the 6 correctly to pass the test. So are you citizens? You know, life is endless learning and testing your knowledge. Boomers, we are just students with a lot of gray hair. It's a continuous journey, and as long as you're breathing, you haven't reached your goal yet. We still build momentum every day. It's not that we're going downhill, we're still building momentum. So let's think about it this way. When we were kids, we started out on a tricycle. And then as we got a little older, we got that banana seat Stingray with the high bars, right? Cool. Then as you get older, you get the bicycle with all the gears and the handbrakes and the clutch and all that fun stuff. But this is the cool thing. Here it comes. Today, boomers, we have e-bikes. They have gears, they have handbrakes, but they have a motor, which is awesome. You can pedal, or you can pedal with the motor, or you don't have to pedal at all. You just use the motor. So you can go 20 miles, 20 miles out, but if you're so exhausted, you've got the motor to bring you home. So it's a totally cool invention. So I want to introduce to you my new e-bike.
It's go time.
Don't worry, no human or bicycle was hurt in that situation. We just didn't do good diligence by adjusting all of the things like my gears, my tire, and other things. But it's cool. At least we weren't that far away from home. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to take a few minutes out to wish every mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, and if there's any great-great-grandmothers, I want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day. So, I put together a little something something for you. Check it out.
Since Sunday, when this episode comes out, is going to be Mother's Day, I thought, well, maybe I can give you a little backstory, a little history of Mother's Day. So here we go. Celebrations of mothers and motherhood can actually be traced back to the ancient Greeks and Romans, according to History.com. They would hold festivals to celebrate their mother goddess Rhea. Celebration of motherhood also was a major tradition in the United Kingdom and parts of Europe. The celebration fell on the fourth Sunday of Lent and was originally seen as a time when the faithful would return to their mother church. Over time, Mothering Sunday turned into more of a secular holiday where children would present their mothers with flowers and other tokens of their appreciation. The custom eventually faded in popularity before merging into American Mother's Day in the 1930s and 1940s. The origins of Mother's Day that's celebrated in the United States date back to the 19th century in the years just before the Civil War, where a woman by the name of Anne Reeves Jarvis of West Virginia started holding Mother's Day work clubs to reach local mothers how to properly care for their children. The official Mother's Day holiday actually arose in the 1900s as a result of the efforts of Anna Jarvis, who was the daughter of Anne Reeves Jarvis, following her mother's death in 1905. She conceived of Mother's Day as a way of honoring the sacrifice mothers made for their children. So after gaining financial backing from a Philadelphia department store owned by John Wanamaker, known as the Wanamaker Retail Store, she organized the first official Mother's Day celebration in May in 1908 at a Methodist church. That same day, she also saw thousands of people attend Mother's Day events in the Wanamaker's retail store in Philadelphia. So it was very successful for the store. Following Anna Jarvis's first Mother's Day success, she remained unmarried and childless her whole life, even though she celebrated Mother's Day. She resolved to see that this holiday was added to the national calendar. She argued that American holidays were all biased. They were based more on male achievements. So she believed that this should be a special day for celebrating women and mothers. By 1912, a lot of states and towns were already adopted Mother's Day in an annual holiday, but with her persistence, by 1914, President Wilson signed a measure that officially established the second Sunday in May as Mother's Day. Here's a couple of little known facts about Mother's Day. One, it's the third highest day for flowers. It's the busiest day of the year for restaurants. And people will spend about $2 billion on mothers. The name mom comes from babies. Ma sound is the first thing a baby can vocalize. So most of the different languages in the world have some kind of way to say mother with ma in it. And in fact, a couple of them, Spanish, you've got madre or mama. You've got Swahili, mama or mazazi. Swedish, Mama or Morsa or more. German, Mutter. So that's where Mama comes from. Thought you'd like to know that. And in sweet memory of my mother, the sweetest little redheaded mama ever. So happy Mother's Day, my mama.
I am excited to say this. This is my 10th episode. Actually, I think I've come quite far for learning everything as I went. Have you ever heard of that old saying, building the plane as you're flying? Well, that's exactly what I've done here. So I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscription bell down below, our subscription button, and the bell that's next to it. So that will let you know when I have another episode in the works. Remember, learn something every day. Hug a teacher. Hug your mom. And if your mom's a teacher, give them a big hug twice. Peace out. Love ya. Happy Mother's Day. Chicka chicka chee.
Down, Gracie. Down. Down, girl.